Boom, welcome to Save the Arts TV, and today we got a new show called Let's Talk About It, where we are here on our podcast table and we are talking about celebrity news. Of course, why not, right?
Everybody else talk about it.
Right, why not, right? We've seen stuff that's happening, right? Might as well talk about it. So what's today's topic today?
Well, we have 50 Cent says that his son is entitled and that he no longer loves him.
Wow.
That's kind of crucial. Like, you don't love your child.
Like, that's your son. What do you mean you don't love your son?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember over the years I kind of kept up with some of the stuff that was going on, where he was like definitely beefing with his son. But I think, to me, as a father, man, if you don't you have meetings every day, 50. You got meetings, conference rooms, you're running big companies. You're sitting down with people you don't like. You're sitting down with people you had beef with before. I mean, you can literally sit down with your son and have a man-to-man, one-to-one conversation. Go to Disney World or something. Work it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see, like, if you're not getting along, like, I don't like you right now. It's never a point that I don't love you.
Right.
Like, that's kind of harsh to see. And, you know, 50 Cent be coming for people, so, you know, 50 Cent don't be trying to come for us. We just observing what you putting in the news.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I think, what do you think about the baby mother being the cause of that?
So, yeah, I think that sometimes it can turn that way. Like, if the mother has resentment towards the father, then that resentment can rub off towards the child and be displayed back and forth. And
it seemed like that probably was just some continuous bashing of the father, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That's serious right there. I know, I think at the end of the day, because he has another child too, right? He has another son, young son. I think at the end of the day, man, as time go on, I think they're gonna make amends, because it only makes sense for the young boy to say, you know, let me talk to my dad. I ain't talked to him for so many years. Let me just sit down and kick it with him, whatever, because I'm sure there's a lot he can learn from his father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot he can learn. And vice versa, you know, he can learn a lot. He can learn the fact that his son kind of was in them streets growing up a certain way. What you about to say?
Well, no, go ahead, and then I'm gonna come back to it.
Well, you know, it's a thing, because, you know, I got a son that lives in St. Louis. So, now, of course, I raised my son. I was there for my son, but I wasn't there for him every day. Like, we didn't live in the same household. So there's certain lessons that he learned on his own that I could learn from.
Yeah. So
there's certain things 50 could learn from his son. You know what I mean? You know, at the end of the day, it's his blood. It's your blood pumping through that little man's veins. So
I mean, and he kind of 50 Cent is a hothead. His son's just like him. So I mean, it's just like him. I was gonna say, I know that 50 is not really like a writer on Power, but I wonder if that relationship kind of stemmed, like how Ghost on Power and his son Tariq, they just butt heads and they don't get along at all. So I wonder if that was kind of reflected in the show because of his own personal situation. I don't know.
I believe so. I'm gonna go with that.
He gonna go with it.
I'm gonna go with that. I think that's exactly where that whole concept came from. Probably, you know. But I just think that, you know, at the end of the day, with everything that he's saying about his son, I bet you he won't want nothing to happen to him. See nothing happen to him. No. You know what I mean? I bet you wouldn't want to find out somebody was stepping on your son, stomping on him out in the streets, like beating him down. You know what I mean? Because that, at the end of the day, all that other stuff won't even matter.
No.
They'd be like, 50, yo, they just like stomped your son on such and such avenue.
Yeah.
What you got to say about that? What you got? You know what I mean? That's stuff that people don't think about. You don't want to see your son getting stomped in the head.
And he gonna be like, man, I don't love him no more. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, they say the definition of love is the love between mother and child. But the father is the next step. You know what I mean? That's the next step of love right there. Dad gotta love your seed even when they're hard-headed. Even when they ain't listening. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You just be like, hey.
You can't be in the same room with them, but you still love them.
Right. I think, to me, part of the problem is probably social media and all this other stuff. People being in the business. You know what I mean? Like, cut all the middleman out and sit down with your son and talk. Like, real talk.
Yeah, social media can make and break something real.
Because that's your legacy regardless.
Yeah.
You know? Whether he like it or not, that's his legacy.
Well, I don't think he getting nothing in the will. How
he
they
might
talking.
Not. Listen, and guess what? And he might not. But at the end of the day, he's still going to be his son.
Correct.
Because if 50 died today, he's still going to be like, that's my dad.
Yep.
Whether he liked him or not, whether they got along or not, he's going to either uphold the legacy or he's going to tear it down and smash it and say my dad wasn't nothing. So nobody wants that.
No.
So work it out as simple as a real conversation. And probably a hug, man. Give that boy a hug.
A hug, strong.
A hug.
Good,
yeah.
strong bear hug.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're the type of person that been through all the stuff that 50 been through. You know what I mean? Yo, get that young man a hug. You need a hug. One night. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
a hug cures everything.
Everything. You know what I'm saying? Because if he already out there in the streets going against cats in the streets, right? And then you got mama on one side that's showing him love, but also telling him some ugly stuff or whatever, probably about dad or whatever. We don't know, allegedly. But at the same time, to say, yo, come here. And don't argue with the boy. Just give the boy a hug and show him that he loves. Show him that all of that anger is misplaced. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there you have it. There you have it.
I'm just saying.
So wait a minute. We got before we go to the next topic, you got something special you want to share? And we're back.
So I got a package delivered today.
Yes.
Boom, look. They got my name right there.
With a heart sticker.
Right. With a heart sticker. Right. It's all packaged. Now I was on Facebook the other day. And Facebook friend of mine, Zola, put up her little man's new brand called Afro Science Kid. And look how it's packaged. It's all packaged nice. Like I thought it was.
You got some cake. You got
some cheesecake or something in this box. Look at that.
Sweet treat.
And look, let's see what we got right here so y'all can see what this is. Let me see. I'll open with this here.
That's so ghetto.
What, this thing I'm
using?
I couldn't find it.
A stapler remover.
Right.
Don't mess up. Don't mess up the pretty package. You poke your pin in it.
Because you know you move the thing. Blame it on you. Boom, look at that. Wrapped up. Wrapped up. Look at that. Boom, to a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Look at the packaging.
That's nice.
Pretty dope.
You know how old he is?
I don't know how old he is. I'm assuming 10, 11.
Oh, he young.
Something like that, yep. And this is, boom. Look at that. Bam.
That's nice.
It's pretty hot, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna rock this. I'm gonna definitely represent.
Yeah.
He said he wanna be an astronaut, yo.
We always gotta support the youth.
Gotta support the youth.
You don't want them to get discouraged
so make
early on.
That's right. Make sure I go to Facebook and follow his page, Afro Science Kid. It's gonna be the future astronaut. What? I'm rocking that tomorrow. Boom.
All right.
Back to our topics.
Yes. What's the topic you have?
I had the topic today. I didn't actually read it. Somebody told me about Ice Cube basically saying that Trump promised $50-something billion that would go to the African American community. I don't know how, but he basically made a comment about it. Now this is what I heard. I didn't even read it. I didn't watch YouTube on it, but somebody told me this yesterday. And they said, so he's basically saying, hey, we might want to think about voting for Trump. What do you think about that?
First of all, is it true?
Right, right.
Is he really, he don't even pay his taxes. Is he really gonna give?
Wait, what did he say? Because he's smart.
Because he's smart. Yeah, because he's smart. I got to get smart. So then, basically, even if the money was going to be given away, he not going to pay taxes on it. So we going to be paying taxes on it.
And do it come to us, or is just like to an insurance plan or something?
Yeah.
Because do we really get some money? Isn't it more stimulus coming, or?
I don't think so.
I mean, I ain't getting no stimulus in the first place. Did you get a stimulus?
Do I got to tell somebody might be trying to get some change? Somebody might be like trying to get a little change.
Did you get it?
I did.
You did? I ain't getting none. I don't know. I had to go and refile my stuff because I was like, where mine at?
You must have made too much money. Well, I think in a sense, I do like one thing because we did look up something Ice Cube was saying, and I feel like the whole thing of researching people for yourself,
right?
Like a lot of people do not research the presidential candidates, and then they just jump on the bandwagon based on what everybody else is saying.
Right.
So I know I looked at the ballot and I was like, I didn't know half of these people on the other list. So a lot of people are going and voting blind because they're not researching the people that they vote for.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep. I mean, it becomes one of those things. He made a point of, he said, to move forward, you gotta negotiate with the people who are willing to negotiate with your people moving forward properly. So he's made a statement that Trump is preparing to help African Americans more. So it's kind of like.
So then it's one of those things. Now, honestly, I'm not sure. I mean, my taxes got cut on my payroll check. So, I did get like a little incentive on that with Trump. But what did he do already? Like, what's gonna consist of more? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think a lot of people right now they don't agree with Trump because they feel like he's bringing out more racism. Right. So why is he gonna be helping the black people if he's causing more racial tension?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's interesting, man. We sit here and we watch this. It's kind of like it's like an old school documentary that we watching all over again, real life, firsthand. Now we seeing everything. We even got current day lynchings. We got everything going on. All the protests, murders, killings. There's a lot of stuff going on.
The world is angry.
Yeah, right. And it's actually a challenge to stay positive. That's a real challenge to stay positive with all that's going on. But we have no choice but to stay positive. Because that's the only way we're going to have things, get things done without anger.
Yeah.
And without, like, tearing more stuff up, basically. Because if you put anger in the forefront, you're going to tear stuff up.
Yeah.
Now, what did make me and a whole bunch of other people uncomfortable when Trump made the comment about stand down to the racist organizations, that made some people be like, stand down? Stand up! You know what I'm saying? You're like, what you mean stand down? Like, what? And I think it put a lot of people that are normally gun carriers and people basically who can fight, or people who was in the military, people who was in the streets, or people who just feel like they got the old Malcolm X concept in their head, like, yo, you touch me, I'm touching you. You put hands on me, I'm putting hands on you. That just made a whole bunch of old school, new school, black power type people be like, hey, yo, what's up? What we doing?
And I work next to the gun store.
Right.
Went down there, all the guns wiped out. So that's just more, I feel like the more people have guns, even though they say it's not the gun, it's the person.
People,
well, it's a lot of persons that have these guns that are not wanting to do the right thing for them. You could say one bad word, one trigger, and since they got this gun in their pocket now, they can pull it out at any moment.
I think having a gun is like, woo, you gotta be very disciplined with that thing. You gotta have your mind right and know in your mind that, hey, I have something on me that can take a person's life.
Correct.
So I gotta be very cool, calm, and collective. Do not jump the gun. Do not look for arguments. Do not, you know what I mean? What do you feel about people actually having guns?
I don't really, like, just to be out randomly carrying them around, that's not my thing. And a lot of people be like, you need a gun? No. I mean, there's people around me that I know have them, so I would be protected in my circle that I'm around. But personally, for me, I don't feel comfortable with a gun.
What makes you uncomfortable about it?
Just like you said, this can kill somebody. I mean, even though a knife could kill somebody,
right?
A bat could kill somebody, but this is like a dangerous piece of equipment, and I really don't want any parts of them. Now, I've shot a gun. I've been to a gun range. I shot a gun, but it's just not for me.
Gotcha. So do you feel safe like late at night and stuff and all that without it?
I have no concerns. Even though it's in the house, I was like, by the time I get up, try to get the gun, get out, the person probably done already got me.
No, I'm talking about like outside when you're not home. You do a lot of filming and stuff like that.
Oh, so yeah. No,
you feel safe?
I haven't felt uncomfortable. Yeah, okay. I haven't been in a situation, I don't know if I could say about that situation y'all was in where y'all was filming.
On the land?
And those people came by. I've never been in a situation where there was any racial slurs or anything brought about during my filming or anything. So, but I know you have. You want to tell that story?
Oh yeah, I can tell it. we were shooting a film called Fractured. And we were shooting a military war scene. We were in the woods. And it's on a piece of land that I own. And while we were deep in the woods, it was like a few brothers that was kind of close to where they can be seen. So some of us was in the woods filming, and some was kind of standing out. Well, some truck rolled by, I think it was a car, and it was like, get off this land. And one of the guys that was with us was like, what? And then he actually walked toward the guy's car, and the guy said, get off this land, get off this land. You shouldn't be on this land. And then pulled off. And then I think he said something like, you better be off this land by the time I get back.
That's
or something like that. Yeah.
Communicating threat.
So then my man Kareem came back to
now,
us.
just to be clear, these were white guys.
These were white. I think it was a white guy and a white girl.
Yeah.
So, and Kareem came back into the woods and said, hey, some white guy just said, get off this land, blah, blah, blah. Now, keep in mind, my land it used to be all this land used to be owned by one family. But I got a piece of land that's in between family members. So their family's on this side of my land and their family's on that side, right? So I'm right in there because I believe something happened where one of the family members, I believe, got on drugs and sold their land to somebody, and then it went to another person and eventually came to me. So when he said this, now keep in mind we're shooting a war scene, and we also have real guns on us in the woods. So when that happened, the guy came back and said, hey man, it's this guy, blah, blah, blah. He said he's gonna come back. So it made everybody alert, and everybody was like, okay, well let him come back then. Come on back. You know what I'm saying?
Be ready.
Come on back.
Be ready.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let him come back. Bring it on back. Bring whatever guns you got, because we got plenty of them in these woods right now. So it would have been a bad day for that guy to come back with that racism. It would have been a bad day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it would have been his own fault. You know, and they could have wrote that wherever they wanted to write it in the newspaper, because hey, we got witnesses and everything, and it was like, hey, we filming on my land.
And that's just a taste of what like our ancestors and stuff went through. So I have to really say I appreciate what they went through for us, because I know I was watching Lovecraft Country, that new show, Lovecraft. It's weird, but it's interesting. But they do some racial stuff in there, and I'm like, I just don't know if I would have made it back then. Like, you just don't know how they had to stomach and take that stuff just to make it through to the next day. It's horrible.
I'll tell you one thing. I think one of the hardest things for a black man back then was to actually have a family. Because everything that he did affected his family.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, even if I'm a wild dude that can knock 5 dudes out and I got guns and I'm all that, I still have to think about if they catch my child walking, if they catch the woman walking, they come. You gotta think about the family. And I think that probably was the most difficult thing for the black man to really shut his mouth, put his head down to protect his family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you get today, some brothers today, they'll be like, hey, whatever. And they'll just put their life on the line. They'll take some lives and then they'll lose theirs. You know what I mean? But, you know, when you think about your family and stuff, and I think the women, that's one of the things that the women always had to do, because they were the caregivers. They were the providers. Like, they couldn't just go out there and just do things that jeopardize the household, the kids, or whatever. Interesting. I tell you, the more we live, the more we learn. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yep. And if we hold on to the words of our grandmothers and great grandmas, and man, it's really, man, it's deeper than going to high school. Yeah. We got more lessons and stuff in the last year than we probably got in 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Almost every election, probably.
Every election?
Every 4 years is a racial spike.
I'll tell you. Yeah. But you know, being like, I'm from New Jersey. And it's crazy because people think, or people say, you know, it's way more racist in the South than any other place, right? The South is known for their racism and stuff like that. But you know, the crazy part is, in the city, when me growing up, it was still segregated. Without saying the word segregation. Because the hood was the hood. Yeah. White people wasn't in the hood. Yep. At all. We was in the hood. It was across town in a whole area that we didn't go to. Yeah. So in the cities, it was still very segregated. And if you were black, you probably didn't have white friends. Yeah. That was crazy. Like, growing up, I had a bunch of white friends. But when you came to when we come to the South, like, you think I've been here since, 2006? And I went to college here and had white friends. It was like, and they cool as heck. And I'm like, yo, And I wouldn't have had that in Jersey. You know what I mean? I mean, the only time we actually really met white people is when we was doing the Lauryn Hill album and we bought Bentleys and Ferraris. Okay. Then everywhere we would go, white people would speak to us. And they'd be like, oh man, what year is that? And we had these rich man's conversations. You know what I'm saying? And then you got rich friends who invited you to pool parties and to get on their boats, and they was like your white friends, but they're not people you grew up with. Yeah. You know, they became your friends because of how you were living or your lifestyle. You was living how they living. So it was like birds of a feather was flocking together. But it's crazy because it's very separated in the city, unless you get money. So it's like the people that get money, they get money together no matter what colors. And then, you know, the poor people over there.
Yeah, we're over there.
Yeah, it's over there. So it was like, man, you learn a lot, man. I'll tell you. Interesting.
Yes, very much so.
So we have another topic.
Yeah, we're going to do our fun topic.
A fun topic.
Yeah, we're going to do our fun topic.
All right.
So we talked about this a little bit, and we were talking about the whole DC movies with the Batman and all of this. So it was rumored that Robert Pattinson, they had to put Batman on hold because he didn't maintain his physique. And so when he come back, they was like, you ain't in shape. How we gonna have an out of shape Batman? But our thing, you said, why do all the superheroes have to be in shape?
Right. Like, why do they gotta be? Now they gotta have muscle bodies and chisel stomachs and all that. Why they gotta have that?
I guess it shows strength. You've been working on your
strength. I guess.
Well, look at that body. Workout.
But why they couldn't put like a tight bodysuit thing on them, like all the ladies wear? Just give them the one with the built-in muscles and just strap it on them, tie them back.
Yeah, because he's not a big guy. He's not.
Look what they did to Thor in that movie.
Oh yeah, they made Thor fat. They did. Thor was fat. He was a fat superhero. He was, but it was fake fat.
Yeah.
They added fat.
Funny.
They didn't have to get you to take it away.
But you know what? So that means we really need a fat superhero. They need to be a fat superhero.
I'm trying to think if there were any.
Remember in Fat Albert? Remember what was the guy? What was the superhero in there?
I don't remember.
He's a black guy. He had an afro and he had the thing on. He had the thing. What was his name, man? I know y'all watching. I know people in the comments. Y'all know his name. But he had a belly.
He did?
Yeah, his whole upper body was like this. It was real big and his legs were real small. I guess like a bee or something. Man, that was funny. But yeah, we need a fat superhero.
Yeah, why not? You know, a thick Wonder Woman.
Right.
What that gonna look like?
Right. That'd be hot.
What that gonna look like?
A big Wonder Woman. I'm gonna go see that one. I'm just saying, because Wonder Woman they have now, she fine.
Oh yeah,
she fine. But if she was fine as that,
yep.
That's a whole. Why do we like that though?
You gotta answer that.
I'm trying to understand. You know, I think I'm gonna say this. As a black man, why we're probably attracted to thick women is it because our moms and aunts. It's what we're familiar with growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're familiar with that. And I think even on TV shows, when you watch Good Times and you saw Thelma and everybody, you know, they wasn't small. They wasn't little like that. You know what I mean?
Thelma was little.
She wasn't little. She was thick.
Oh, okay.
Well, she was thick and eyes. She was fine. And like Claire Huxtable, she was fine. Mm-hmm. She wasn't small.
She wasn't skinny.
Yeah, but she was fine. You know. I guess that would be why we liked it. I don't know.
You heard it here first.
I mean, because everybody had those aunts that they were like, man, my aunt such and such, and they'd be like, yo, your aunt pretty. Or people, their mama. They'd be like, boy, I remember friends tell my boy Skills, his mom was gorgeous back in the day. We was looking at like, woo, and we were just little kids, you know what I'm saying?
Miss Parker.
Right. Looking like Foxy Brown or something. You know, and I think that's something that we probably was familiar with too. The stuff that was put in front of us. Yeah. Foxy Brown and all of them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying, yeah. So, but overseas in Jamaica, they like big girls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The voluptuous honey.
And that's what they told us when we was over there for 17 years. Like mucho, what they call mucho grande?
Yeah, that's very big.
Yeah.
Big a lot.
They love it.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at them.
So we ain't mad at us thick girls at all.
Mad at the thick girl. Make way for the thick girl. Make way for the thick girl.
I was all off beat. It's okay.
Thank y'all for tuning in to Let's Talk About It with your boy Kilo.
Nikisha Wright.
And we in the building. Save the Arts TV. Let's go.